Okay, for number 1, in right triangle ABC, C is 90 degrees, A is 55, and CA is 10. What is the length of AB to the nearest integer? So here we have the hypotenuse and the adjacent side of this angle A. So adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So cosine of the angle 55 is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we need to solve for x. So we're going to do times x on both sides. And then we have x times cosine of 55 equals 10. And to get x by itself, we will divide by cosine 55 now. And when we do that, we can simply plug that into Desmos. So functions, trig, cosine 55 is 0.57. I'm going to make sure that I'm in degrees. I am. And I need to do 10 divided by cosine of 55. So you can round and do 10 divided by 0.57, or you could just type in cosine of 55 on the bottom. Okay, so you get about 17. Okay, number 2, Debbie has 3 blouses, 4 skirts. How many different outfits can she wear? The fundamental counting principle says 3 times 4 is 12. Number 3, 2 red marbles, 3 blue marbles. If one is drawn at random, what's the probability that it's red? Well, there are 2 red, so 2 out of the total of 5 marbles. Which of the following functions of x has the apparent range of y such that y is greater than or equal to 0? So when y is greater than or equal to 0, that means that your graph is all positive, so it has to be above the x-axis. So which one of these graphs is completely above the x-axis? Well, A is partially above, but it has some that's negative, whereas C is completely above the x-axis. Number 5, a ball is thrown straight up at an initial velocity of 54 feet per second. We have a function that represents that, and we want to know after how many seconds after the ball is thrown will it return to the ground. So basically we're looking for a positive x-intercept. So I'm going to type into Desmos y equals 54t, or 54x, minus 12x squared. All right, so we are looking for, so this point here would be the initial point, and then this one here would be when it hit the ground at 4.5 seconds. So just a note, you're looking for the positive x-intercept there. Okay, number 6, if x is positive, then 4x to the 1/2 is equivalent to what? Well, x to the 1/2, if you remember converting into radicals, this becomes the index. The denominator becomes your index number, and the top stays as the exponent. So your index with your root would be 2, and you would have x to the first power on the inside, and you still have that positive 4 in front. So anytime you have an index of 2, it's understood to be a 2 even without it, so that would be C, 4 times the square root of x. Okay, number 7. In this diagram, we are given those angle measures, and we want to know what is the value of x. So when you have a triangle and an exterior angle, so this is an exterior angle because it is outside of this triangle. So this angle, if you think about your, what we talked about with angles and parallel lines, okay, so if this angle here forms a straight line with this angle, then they have to add up to 180. Okay, but we also know that these 3 angles in here have to add up to 180 as well because they're a triangle. So basically what this tells us is that this angle here plus these two has to be 180, so this angle is equal to this one plus this one. So we're going to set up this equation. 4x plus 30 is equal to 2x plus 10 plus x plus 30. Now we're just solving for x. So we have 4x plus 30 equals, so we're adding 3x, and then we have plus 40. All right, so getting x by itself, I would subtract 3x on both sides first. So that gives us 1x plus 30 equals 40, and then subtract 30 on both sides. So x equals 10. All right, number 8, in triangle ABC, if that's rotated 180 degrees, what are the coordinates of A prime? So 180 degrees, you can remember the rule that for 180 degree rotation, xy becomes negative x, negative y, or you can just use what I call the anchor method. So to get to A, you can pick either one of these axes and just draw a horizontal and a vertical line to get to A. So I would go up and to the right to get to A. So I went up 4 units, and I went right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So if I rotate this 180 degrees, I would go 4 units here, 5 units up. Whoops, a little too far there. And then to go another rotation, we would go down 4, left 5. Okay, so our new coordinates of A would be negative 5, negative 4. So if you were using your rule, this original point was 5, 4, and the new point is negative 5, negative 4. Number 9, what is the length of RU to the nearest tenth? All right, so RU, I'm going to call it X. So we have this angle here. This would be opposite, and this one is the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So we have the sine of 37 degrees is x over 21. So to get x by itself, we're just going to multiply by 21. So 21 times the sine of 37, we're going to plug that in Desmos. 21 functions sine 27, and that's about 9.53.